你要开始录，你要点那个录
我也点了。
啊。
Hello everyone, this is the topic of our speech today, unlocking opportunities, Indian students heading to Australia. Below is information about our group member, 徐子杰、胡逸轩、蒋萌嫣, and Yang Zi. Our speech content includes an introduction to the education background, circle analysis of selected countries and industries, and finally a summary. Next page. Our expectation is to achieve steady growth in educational service in both countries. Australia is a world-famous country for studying abroad. Its excellent teaching staff and education industry chain make so many students from all over the world willing to come to this country. The Australian higher education market is very competitive, not only from universities in other countries, but also from domestic universities and other educational institutions in Australia. Australia's high-quality education, attractive scholarship, and good student support service can attract Indian students. Next page. Oh, this is goal. After 2020, because the epidemic, the Australian government introduction some policies to protect people, whether it's travel restrictions or money issues. They have a great impact on Indian students, which also has an impact on Australia's economy. As the situation improves under control of the epidemic in 2023, the number of Indian students studying in Australia has also recovered. We discover necessary between education in two countries. So we choose this industry for analysis. Next one. Tuition.
Okay. Australia is one of the popular destinations for international students from India, while India is one of the major source countries for international students from Australia. The flow of international students boosts the education industry in both countries and bring economic benefits to both countries. India is in a period of rapid development and needs a large talent pool in the economic, technological, medical, and military fields, which requires more young people to pursue higher education. So India has been one of the fastest growing market for Australia education in the last 4 years. While India has some excellent uh, tertiary education institutions, its tertiary education resources may not be able to meet the demand in the face of its huge population. Therefore, sending students to developed countries such as Australia for better educational resources is a common option. Next slide. There is a certain degree of cultural and linguistic similarity between Australia and India, which makes Australia one of the top choices for Indian students to start. In addition, the English language education system in Australia is also one of the major attractions for Indian students. However, one of the most important policy factors behind the growth in the number of self-financed students studying abroad in India is the Indian government's decision to relax the exchange rules in terms of currency exports, allowing students to pay for courses, fees, and the cost factors associated with studying abroad. In addition to this, a few student loans has been made available by a commercial banks in India, which has further enhanced the ability of some students or families to choose to study abroad. Another key factor for prospective students is expectation of obtain in a temporary or permanent job or even residential status. While studying, these factors is particularly important to give the worldwide demand for skilled labor, especially in developed countries in the field of information technologies. In the case of Australia education, one of the most important factors may be the relative cost. Compared to United States and the United Kingdom, Australia education is much cheaper in terms of both cost of living and fields. This is why many students from Asian countries are choosing a study in Australia, while with India being the leading sourcing of students due to its rapid growth and increased demand. Okay, next.
This section is an introduction to the reasons why we choose higher education as a business between Australia and India. In the research on India, it was found that as the middle class in India continues to grow, there is a corresponding increase in the demand for higher education, which is linked to economic prosperity. While the curriculum development in India higher education institution lacks intellectual, systemic, ethic, and professional integrity. Curriculum development is not seen as a serious academic task or educational business, but more like a ceremonial tradition. At the same time, social inequality in India, including gender bias and caste discrimination, is a challenge of accessing a higher education amidst the significant income gap. All these factors affect the opportunities for the people of India to access higher education. On the contrary, Australia's higher education environment not only provides ample educational resources and quality education, but also offers a safe, equitable, and healthy learning environment. Meanwhile, the Indian government actively encourages students to study abroad by offering scholarships, grants, and other financial support. Collaborating with foreign educational institutions and governments. It aims to provide students with international exposure and opportunities for personal growth. Next page, please. Next page, please. In the part about Australia, Australia has been a major force within the international student market and has been very successful in recruiting international students. As supported by neoliberal policies and agents set by the government and higher education institution, which provides world-class university, device course option, cultural diversity, high-quality research opportunities, and post-study work opportunities. And the Australian government actively encourages Indian students to study in Australia through measures such as scholarships, work visa policies, and the student support service. Australia of sorry, that's all. Next one.
Okay, through the previous discussion, we have seen the superior foundation for the two countries to collaborate in the higher education industry. As you can see in the picture, most Australian universities that have partnership with higher education institutions across India. Of course, due to some of the issues and challenges mentioned earlier, such as class issues, social inequality, this cooperation is currently focused on a few large metropolitan areas, which, however, also shows the potential for great things to come. There is no doubt that education is building a lively bridge between the two countries. To truly keep our finger on the pulse of this market, we need to dive deeper at a number of levels, from how macro political factors affect the viability of education corporations and the execution of strategies, to identifying the opportunities and challenges of the market in a complex business environment. From how government action can create barriers to entry or act as a driving force in the industry to how technology innovations critically affect the competitiveness of firms. And in the poster presentation session, we will dive deeper into these questions in conjunction with relevant theories to review why and how Australian higher education can find its unique foothold in the Indian market, all of which will be presented in our upcoming posters, so stay tuned. Next page. Here, these are the relevant references, and that's the end of the presentation. Thank you for watching.